Hey, hey, you guys remember us? You guys remember us? Did you fuckers miss us? We've been gone a while. And if you're new and you have no idea what the hell this is the Sounds on Vinyl show. My name, as always, is Phil Boyer. And the guy that's with me pretty much every week, even if we don't do a show, we pretty much talk every week, right? Sometimes multiple times a week, is Mr. Mike Svensson, lead singer of bands past, present, future, in other dimensions, in other lifetimes. It doesn't matter. He's been the lead singer of those bands. Mike, what the hell's going on, man?
Oh man, it's going good. We're back, man. It's been almost back. It's been like forever, but I mean, let me tell you, it's been worth waiting for. If you're listening out there, I mean, we got some stuff for you. Damn.
We got a new format, we got new studios, we got new stuff. And I'm gonna apologize ahead of time if you guys hear an echo on mine. We're been redoing the studio and it's not 100% done yet. I have not put the sound panels on. I'm kind of hearing a reverb thing going on. I apologize if you're hearing that, but that will be fixed by the time we dive into the regular episodes. So, Mike, we've had a lot going on,
Oh yeah.
and we're going to talk about that when we're back. But real quick, tell everybody the main reason why we took so long of a hiatus.
Oh. Hmm. It's because of a little store that I just opened up. It's the Sounds on Vinyl record store. It's been a dream come true to be able to start this thing. I opened it up March 4th and been rolling for like almost 6 weeks now. And it's, oh man, you know me, I'm a vinyl nerd. I sit there during the weekends and sniff out all my vinyl records and listen to them and and whatnot. So, and now I'm able to do this. I mean, with my own store, huge amounts of vinyl records in my store, and I get to meet a lot of cool people that come to visit me that are like me, a nerd, or, who just want to listen to good music and have a cup of coffee and shoot the shit. So that's yeah, it is. It is.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we've been, even though we haven't been on air, we've been hard at work. We got a brand new website coming with all kinds of fun stuff going on. And again, we'll talk about that in a little bit later down the road because things aren't quite done baking yet, but we're getting there. We are getting there. But, I got to say, being gone for so long, I kind of feel like I'm not a musician like you are, but I know for a lot of musicians with COVID not being able to tour, and once that started to lift, you guys got back on stage, and I heard from a lot of musicians how awesome it was to get back on stage and in front of people, and I can imagine that's how this feels like to get back in front of the fans and the people that listen and the people that give us time, every week to listen to our shows and it's just it's a great feeling to be kind of almost back.
Yeah, it's almost like the floodgates have opened. I remember hitting the stage for like the first time, and we couldn't even cope. Are we supposed to do this or what? Is this okay now? But I mean, you're getting there. It's a strange feeling, but we're back, and you're here, and hopefully we'll have a great time together again. So
Yeah, we're gonna have an all new format that we're not going to talk about yet, but we will say that it sort of ties all the seasons together, and it's kind of fun. It's exciting. It's really exciting. So we're always trying to reinvent the show and do something fun because
yeah, why not? Yeah.
yeah, we'll be back real soon, and keep an eye on the YouTube channel for more. And you can go to boozehoundentertainment.com to find out when we'll be back. There'll be a little bit of a news section. That's going to be the brand new website that Sounds on Vinyl will be on. You can always go to soundsonvinyl.com to both.
Yeah.
Hey, today we thought we kind of kick things off, do something a little different, and talk about the whole Mick Mars Motley Crue thing. And normally, I don't give a shit about this kind of thing. Normally, this is like who gives a fuck, right? Like the KK Downing and all that. Normally, I wouldn't give a fuck about that. This I feel is a little bit different. Yes, it's got the drama. It's got the whole he said, she said thing. But I feel like this is a bit different in the sense that, um, Mick Mars has had this disease for a while now that is very, very painful. And he's been kind of sucking it up and doing some of these shows and doing the tours. And he finally, his body got to a point where he had to say, look, guys, I can't tour anymore. I can do some one off shows, maybe. I can still write new music. We can still do that kind of thing. Motley Crue, I can still be part of Motley Crue and have that all live on. But I just can't do these big tours anymore. My body just can't do it. And then they basically said, well, you can go fuck off. At least that's one side of the story. That's Mick Mars' side of the story. I'm not quite sure what that all entails. Is that a 25% across the board cut to 5%? Or is that just for touring? Are they just cutting his royalty and his share to 5%? Where that lies, I don't know. I've not been able to hear about that or confirm one way or the other. Um, but I think, if it's 5% for touring, I I think that's fair, especially if the rumors are true and they're using his guitar tracks as backing tracks in their shows, um, which I've heard from more than one source that is actually what's going on. That there's a lot of backing tracks going on with Motley Crue. Then he should get at least that 5%, even if they have to pay John Five to go out there and play guitar if that's what's going on. Right. Again, there's a lot of things that we have no idea what the truth is. We may never know, you know, even though there's this big lawsuit. We will have a link to the entire um, case subpoena thing in the description that you can read. It's up on Scribed, so you can go read it and see what McMars is suing Motley Crue about. But you know, what do you think? Like you're a musician, Mike. So this kind of, you know, I don't know if you have any experience with this kind of thing, but you can probably relate, right? You're in a band, you guys share the royalties, and So what's your take on this?
Well, first off, it's really hard when it comes to business on this level. I mean, if there is a contract that has been broken, and well, hopefully the lawsuit is gonna sort that out. But going back to, I mean, I have to say I'm like you. I really don't care about stuff like this. But it's like you said, um, if this disease that Mick has prevents him to play live, and they have a contract that he's gonna play on the album and whatnot, then it's, I mean, that's a breach of contract, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. I mean, we've heard the rumors about all those guys in that band, and you have to ask yourself, why is Mick clinging on to those guys? I mean, I know there's a lot of money in this, but um, well, they don't seem to be like the smartest guys. in this industry, if you know what I mean. I mean, if you look at Mick, he comes off as one of those guys that knows stuff. He's been portraying that during over the years. I mean, he's never been in any turmoil what whatsoever when it comes to drugs and alcohol and whatnot and girls. He's been on the sidelines, if you know what I mean. And
Hmm.
Tommy Lee, Vince Neil, I don't know what's going on there, but it's weird. I'll give you that. I'm a bit surprised that Mick cares about doing this. I mean, in front of the media, if you know what I mean. Talking about it openly. I think it should be a thing for the courts and the lawyers. I don't understand why you have to air your dirty laundry, if you know what I mean. Of course there is gonna be stuff. I mean, we have disagreements in the bands that I'm in, of course, and of course it's when it comes to money that there is a certain thing that you have to take in account when it comes to royalties and so forth. But I just to give you an idea, there's a reason why Jason Newsted of Metallica never sued the other guys, if you know what I mean. I mean, there was some bad blood between him and James Hetfield when he left, but they patched it up, if you know what I mean. I know that James reached out to Jason, and he's been part of the family ever since he left, and they didn't air any of their dirty laundry except for the monster, some kind of monster movie. But so
But I think that the thing is, Jason Newsted quit, right? He wasn't fired, whereas Mick Mars was fired. Same thing with KK Downing. He quit. He didn't get fired. So I think the difference here is Mick Mars.
do we know that Mick got fired?
Well, here's the other like sticky point here. So it depends on who you talk to. So basically, Mick said, I'm resigning from touring, with the exception of a few one off shows that are around LA. I can I can't tour anymore. Motley Crue basically took that as resigning from the band because they're saying, well, you Motley Crue is touring. We're a touring band. That's all we do. So that basically you resigned from the band. While Mick is saying, no, I just resigned from touring and they fired me from the band. Now, here's the other layer on this is they're in the studio right now recording new music. So they aren't just a touring band, right? So again, the water is murky. We have no idea really again what the truth is. But the way from what I can piece together from reading multiple articles is that he basically got fired from the band. He resigned from touring, but they fired him entirely because he said he could write new music. He wants to be part of the band. He just can't tour. I mean, right? It's the same thing with Glenn Tipton. I don't know what his cut of the royalties is, but he does one-off shows. You know, he's still writing with the band, right? I mean, I feel like Motley Crue's being kind of a fucking dick. Honestly, no. I mean, like, you mentioned the dirty laundry, but Mick's been saying, he's called them all like felons and this and that, and technically that's true for at least two out of the three. But they're they're not the best of the best, you know, as far as human beings. They're not good people. They're not what you would call good people, and I feel like Mick should have expected that. Um, but I feel like
I mean, Mick seems to be the only sane guy in that band.
yeah, and one would argue the only one with talent in that band. I mean, yeah. Mick probably would have been better off ditching Motley Crue after the second record and getting into either starting his own band or getting into a different band. I think his career would have been a completely different thing, and I think Mick could have had a bigger name. I think we all know in the metal world who Mick Mars is, but I feel like he's not. He could have been more of a household name than he is. I think, if he would have bailed for Motley Crue, but who knows? It's all second guessing. Who knows? You never know. You never know. But
It is. It is. Me too.
and to hear this kind of thing going on, even though I haven't liked Motley Crue since 1984, 5, I mean, that's a long fucking time. But it's still there's that nostalgia thing there. There's still something there because
Yeah. But it's what we do. We dive into stuff and go down and dirty with the nitty gritty stuff and try to figure stuff out because that's what's on our minds right now. So it's a valued thing to talk about this because I mean we care about the music that they released when we were growing up. I mean those first two albums. I mean, damn. I still remember. I mean, I was like 12 years old, opening up that gatefold to "Shout to the Devil," going like, "Holy shit!" I mean, today is still that album, man. Jesus, it is. Yeah.
is there's like well we did a show on it, so go back into the archives and listen to our Shot at the Devil episode. It was that's from like probably season 1, so you're gonna have to go back a ways, but yeah, I mean it's a great record, and they made it work back then, but I think
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
people are gonna argue with that, and that's fine. I don't think what they've done, since Shot at the Devil, they haven't done anything that's to me is holy shit, that was just amazing. They're kind of like, sad to say, but Metallica. At least they had 4 good records in them, you know. But yeah. So it's but I don't know. I feel like there's all this drama, Dave Mustaine is still whining about Metallica. There's always that. It's kind of funny, and but I feel like this to me that this hit a little bit differently. I thought this was an interesting story because I feel like Mick's got some legal ground here. Again, I don't know what the contract is or what the truth is, but it seems like you said Mick Mars is kind of the sane and smart one of the band. I don't think he'd file a lawsuit if he didn't have grounds to do that.
I agree, totally agree, but I don't know why he went to the media to talk about this. That's the only concern that I have. So why did he do that? I mean, he seems to be a guy let the lawyers talk and do the thing that they do best because we're second guessing right now. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And talking about going in deep, what we're doing for like the next couple of episodes, and that's what we've been talking about. It's diving into the music. So not all the shows are gonna be like this, where we dive into to air some dirty laundry of rock stars, but this is a special thing that both Phil and I feel passionate about talking about. But we're going to focus on the music, of course. But every now and then, when stuff like this pops up, we'll address it. So
Yep. Yes, and we'll have more news about how we're going to handle news on the first episode, and maybe before that. But like I said, keep your eye on the YouTube channel. Keep your eye on the website, busanentertainment.com. You should be able, we're going to have a little news section for each of the shows underneath that for now until we launch the website. So, the brand new website. So go and check that out. And any last words before we bail?
spin some records.
God damn it. All right. So until we meet again, later.
Later.